We will begin with just some opening thoughts from Coach Carvel.
We're very excited to be here. This kind of season that we had early on, we thought this was a possibility, and to give the team a lot of credit, thought we were very consistent all year long, not too many stumbles along the way. And last weekend, I thought we played extremely well, and we're going to try to carry it into this weekend.
All right, we'll take your questions first for the players. And players, John? Okay.
This is for Cale.
Could you enter?
I'm sorry. John Worrell with the Associated Press. Cale, what do you make of with your backstory and your commitment that you made to UMass to be here at this podium 2 years later, to show your loyalty and to be a Hobie Baker finalist and to have UMass in its first Frozen Four? What has the past 2 years meant to you?
Yeah, obviously it's very special. I think Carby touched on it, and coming into this year we knew we had a special group and we could do special things, but I think it's just a credit to everybody on our team coming into the rink every day knowing and wanting to work hard and make everybody else better.
Okay, in front here.
Dave Hendrickson, U.S. College Hockey Online. For Cale and Jacob, you guys had shutouts in both of your regional games, but you're going against a team that also had shutouts. Can you talk about what is going to be critical for you guys from an offensive perspective to go and resolve that strength of Denver?
Jacob.
Both teams are obviously playing well defensively, so I mean it's going to come down to maybe the first goal is a little bit grittier, maybe it's just a rebound, maybe it's this guy's going to the net. So we just got to play our game, play UMass hockey, and we'll be good.
Cale?
Yeah, I think exactly what Pritch said. We just got to stay to what our strengths are and kind of play to that.
Okay. Right
I was just looking
to
go
follow.
Ahead,
David.
If I can follow up, the one advantage that you guys really do seem to have is a terrific power play that they don't seem to have. So how much is the power play going to affect that?
Cale?
Yeah, if we get to special teams, it's going to be a big for us to be consistent and be able to portray their weaknesses in their zone. So we'll look forward to doing that.
Jacob, you good?
Yeah, I'm all right.
I should have said Dave. Is that good? Not Jacob. Sorry. You got nothing, Jacob, for us?
No, I mean obviously special teams, they help you win games. If we can get a goal or two, that's going to be big. If we win a special team battle, it's a good chance we're going to also win the game.
See, that'll add to a story. Very well done. All right, over here.
Josh Wolf, Shelley, Hampshire Gazette. Mario, you guys in Boston played the late game. Obviously, that first game went to overtime, kind of threw off the timing a little bit. How do you guys kind of stay prepared, stay focused, playing the late game again tomorrow night to make sure that you guys are ready once the puck's dropped?
Yeah. I mean, we've all said this like plenty of times. We've learned a lesson from Boston, and we kind of turned the page on that, but obviously, we know it's at stake. I mean, it's the semifinals, Frozen Four. We got to be dialed in. It all starts with our practice today. We got it under our belt, went out there, cameras are on us, got on the ice for the first time. So, no, come tomorrow night, it's all business. We get to the rink, all the distractions, we count them out. We got to go out there ready to play his first 5 minutes, and we're going to do that. So, whatever happens in that first game, we're not worried about that. We're worried about Denver, and we're going to bring it to him strong.
All right. Right here in front.
Miguel Rodriguez from the Buffalo News. This is for Jacob and Mario. Just talk about what it's like to play with a player of like Cale. Does it make it easier for you guys when you're out there? Just talk about what it's like to play with Cale.
Jacob.
Yeah, not to pump his tires too much with him right here, but obviously he's a pretty special player, and when he's on the ice, you know it. There's a good chance we're going to possess the puck when he's on the ice, so it makes things a lot easier.
Mario.
Yeah, just like Pritch said. No, it's obviously really special to be able to play with a guy like Cale. He's a great player, a great person off the ice, and he pushes you to be better, and that's what he's done for the team all year, and it's going to continue into this weekend. So we're happy to have him on our team.
There's some other stories here. You can feel it, can't you, Miguel? There's something else cooking here, boys. What don't we know about him?
He's a huge Marvel fan. So that's what you don't know about him.
Haven't yet, but definitely be seeing it.
All right, what else? Back right here. Okay, go ahead, Neil.
Yeah, Neil Keckley from MSUSpartans.com. This is for Cale. Cale, when you look back at this season, what were the positives about coming back for a second year as a player, a teammate, and as a person?
Yeah, from the beginning, my goal was to go play college for 2 years, and that's some stuff I wanted to work on coming back. And I really felt that our team could make a run at it this year, and we would have the opportunity to play in the Frozen Four. So I think it's just a testament to the teammates and everybody coming back and working hard and making each other better, like I touched on earlier.
Did you really have a fun year just doing this whole thing?
Yeah, college is a fun time. You get to hang around with these guys every day. We all live in the same, pretty much building, so we're hanging out with each other 24/7.
That reported, by the way, this is 41st Frozen Four he's covering. Wow. How about that, huh? You got a question from the dean of the press corps here. All right. What else? All right, John?
Back again to Cale and to follow up on your answer there. I mean, I
Did
remember
you,
John Morrow with the AP again.
All right.
Going back when I first met you in St. Catharines at the Canada camp, you talked about wanting to have fun at the college level and committing to 2 years. What do you think you gained out of that, as opposed to rushing to an NHL career?
Yeah, I think just more experience. I think there were aspects, like I said, of my game that needed more work, and I felt that coming back for another year at this level would ultimately tune those up in order for me to play pro. So I feel like I'm getting to that level and I'm being more consistent now.
Josh, were you right up here?
Josh Wall, Australian Hampshire Gazette. This is also for Cale, but it's not about you. It's about the other two guys sitting next to you. I'll start with Mario. I feel like he gets overlooked a lot by yourself, but what does Mario bring to this team, and kind of what has he done to kind of lead you guys to this point?
Yeah, he's definitely one of the best leaders I've ever played for. He comes to the rink every day with the most energy I've seen out of anybody in the entire world, and he's going to compete every day. You step onto the ice with him, he's the guy that you want to compete against in every single drill, and he's going to make you better every single day. So it's a credit to him, and he's always one of the last guys in the weight room as well. So.
And then, Jacob getting here this year as a grad transfer, kind of really revolutionizing guys on the power play with kind of his possession. Now, what has Pritch brought to the table this year for you guys?
He's just brought such a big sense of experience and calmness. He, like I said, calmness. He comes to the rink every day, and he's never going to be a guy that freaks out or he brings his energy, but he's going to make guys better, and he has a calm presence in the room that reassures everybody that everything's going to be okay at all times.
All right here in front.
Mean Torrey from the Daily Collegian in Amherst. My question is for Coach Carvel. Denver's a team that's sort of been here before, so to speak, and obviously UMass is on this big stage for the first time. How are you sort of going about preparing your team for the moment?
Well, we're trying to read the room. We're trying to go off instincts a little bit. It is the disadvantages of our team is that we've not been here, but I said this last week. I had the same question in Manchester. I'll take this team without experience over anything else. The quality of the kids that we have, the character, the skill level, their unity, everything, they're a good group. And so I'm excited to go into this with them. And, we don't have that experience, but that's all right. We've got a lot of other things that I'm excited about.
More questions for the players, Dave?
Yeah, Dave Hendrickson, U.S. College Hockey Online. This is for Cale and Mario. You guys didn't really face a whole lot of adversity in the regionals because you never trailed. You really controlled both games in a really significant way. Against Denver, it may well be that things go differently. How are you mentally preparing yourself for if you fall behind, if things aren't going quite so well, and you really have to face a lot of adversity?
Mario.
Yeah, that's something we've talked about this week is being mentally prepared and having that that mental strength to fight through adversity and whatnot. But we experience adversity throughout the year, and we've experienced it in Boston, and that kind of experience and that game there has really taught us a lot. And so we know what we got to do in order to win these games, and we know what Denver's going to bring, and we know what we have to bring in order to win. So as long as we stick to our compete and our effort and our identity, good things will happen. So that's what we're focused on. more so than anything, is our own compete level in order to take that game.
Gail?
Yeah, I just touched on the same thing that Mario said, the mental toughness. I think 2 of the last 4 games of our regular season, we were down 3-0, and we're able to come back in both those games. So it's a scenario that we're familiar with, and being down regardless of the first period or whatnot. So it's not going to change the way we play at all. It's just going to amp us up even more.
Kyle Grabowski, Daily Hampshire Gazette. What is your guys' impressions of Denver been in the time that you've had since you played last, just in terms of what you're preparing for when you play them?
I mean, we've watched a little bit of clips on them and stuff, and obviously they're a very skilled, fast team, and we're just going to have to shut them down offensively. They have a lot of key pieces that we're going to have to be aware of at all times, and it's just going to be a factor that we need to be prepared for.
That was Cale, by the way, for the transcriber. Jacob, anything else to add to that?
Yeah, obviously they're a pretty good team, but at the end of the day, it's what we do. It's how we execute our systems, how we play UMass hockey. It's going to determine our success.
Okay, anything else for the players? All right, guys, we'll let you go. Best of luck. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
And we will continue on with questions for Carvey. Carvey, how about that? Is that what the boys call you?
That's what everybody calls me.
All right, everybody. All right.
It's not coach in our room, it's Carvey.
All right, we like it. All right, right here.
Josh Walfish, Daily Hampshire Gazette. Greg, you were disappointed with the practice, not this past Tuesday, but last Tuesday, that first time back on the ice after Manchester. How do you feel like practice has gone for you guys over these last 6, 7 days?
Well, it's a challenge when you have that long break, when your team is playing well and you want to get back out on the ice. You try to balance recharging the batteries, but having them not lose that edge that they had last weekend or 2 weekends ago in Manchester. So we did our best. We kept them short, tried to compete as much as we could. Yeah, that first practice back was not unexpectedly. The guys were a little too loose, and like I said, we're just trying to read the room, push the right buttons, and make sure they're ready to go tomorrow night. We're really good when we start games strong, and we come out in the first 5 minutes, we show we're ready to play. That's a real good sign, and that's what we're hoping for tomorrow.
All right, right here in front.
Jeff Cox with the New England Hockey Journal. Coach, how important do you think guys like Bobby and Jacob are going to be to kind of setting the tone and playing that physical style that the speed and forecheck that seems like it's been a kind of underrated part of your team's game the whole year?
Yeah, we say to our guys, everybody's responsible to our identity, and not every guy's 6'2" and 200 pounds. Some guys are like Bobby are 5'8" and 150 pounds, but they all have to play an aggressive mindset that we try to play, and again, I like my team because they're versatile. They can play a skill game, they can play a fast game, they can play a physical game. We're pretty. We can do a lot of different things, but ultimately, this year it happened early. The guys realized when we do this, we're a really good team. We're really tough to beat, and we did that last weekend in Manchester. We didn't do it the weekend before against Boston College, and at this point of the year, the coach shouldn't be doing too much, other than staying out of the players' way and trying to keep them on course, and that's all I'm trying to do right now.
Okay, over here in the line.
Ryan Ames, Daily Collegian. After the game of the Garden, you talked about the guys maybe feeling a little bit overwhelmed just with the atmosphere. First practice out there today, do you feel like the guys are maybe a little more comfortable?
Were you watching practice?
No, we just got here.
Yeah, you're lucky you missed it. The first 10 minutes, not unexpectedly again, wasn't very crisp. Wasn't our usual day before game practice. So I called the guys in. Hey, let's take a breath. We've been through this. It's the same practice we do every day before a game. And then the guys kind of settled down, and we looked faster and crisper as the practice went on. So, again, I'm glad we got to skate today. You can get that stuff out of the system and be ready to go.
Okay, right here in front.
Dave Hendrickson, U.S. College Hockey Online. It's a similar question to what I asked the players in terms of the adversity aspect. Did things maybe even go a little bit too easily for you in the regionals, or what kind of things are you mentally doing to prepare the players for things possibly going wrong early?
Did not go too easily. Went great. I thought it was awesome. Kale mentioned it. We were down 3-0 in the first playoff game of the year for us. We're down to UNH 3-0 halfway through the game. We've been down, again, when we start real well, we usually play a good solid 60 minutes. When we don't start well, we've still proven that we can come back in games. I think we were down 2-0 to Boston College at home. We came back and won that game. Again, down to UNH, came back. So we've won games where we haven't scored the first goal. As far as adversity, I don't care. When you've played 40 games, you've had adversity. You've had a lot of adversity, whether it's in a game or in practice or an off-ice issue, whatever it is. This time of the year, ideally we score the first goal because two teams playing well defensively. But if we don't score the first goal, it's not like our bench is going to sag and think, oh, thanks for coming, game's over. We'll keep grinding.
Okay.
Molly Walker, Massachusetts Daily Collegian. A couple times down the stretch here, you've talked about wanting to push the right buttons with the team and the decisions that you make and the things that you say to them. Before you take the ice tomorrow, what kind of buttons are you hoping to push on the team?
Just go out and play. Just play. I hope as coaches we don't oversaturate them with too much information and video and the rest of it. You almost want to just not show them any video. Just say, go play. Go have fun. Play as hard as you can. You guys know what to do. And again, it's much more important that we do what UMass wants to do rather than trying to prevent Denver from doing what they want to do. Two good hockey teams, great time of the year. Again, I said earlier, I just need to stay out of their way and not put any pressure or anything else on them. They're a great group of kids. I'm extremely proud of them. I'm extremely excited for them. Again, this is a very young team. What they've done in 2 years to get to this, I don't want to be in the way at all. That's all. I'm excited for them.
You'll be here tomorrow, though.
Yeah, I'll be here.
All right.
Had to think there for a second.
Neil.
Neil Kepke, MSUSpartans.com. Greg, when you look at Cale McCarr's second season, what did he do this year to improve himself after the rookie year?
He grew up. He's a young kid. Pritch isn't. He's 24 or something. Cale needs to grow up physically. You need to mature. Extremely self-aware young man. He last year we play Friday, Saturday. There were a lot of Saturday nights that he turned to us and said, I can't go. I mean, that's not a kid ready to go to the NHL. So he's matured physically, the weight room. He's a super hockey strong kid, and again, he's only 20 years old. He's going to be a phenomenal player. But the thing I love about his family is that they looked at UMass as a complete development stage. This wasn't just a hockey development. They were excited. I think the family really liked the coaching staff, the administration. They really liked the energy that was around the program. And they knew Cale was going to be. They wanted him to learn life lessons, and he has. And this whole year for him, as outstanding as he's been, it's given him good experience in how to handle media, maybe before he gets to the next level, and becomes even the lights get a little brighter. So I think he's had his 2 years at UMass have gone exactly as how you could have hoped in the best case scenario, and we got a little bit farther to go to get to the ultimate best case scenario.
So the family and him really did the homework on the program and the people there.
Absolutely. We have a tremendously close relationship with his dad. His dad's an unbelievable guy. He's got his head on, and I realized that the first time I met him. We communicate with him all the time. It's a really nice relationship. And I think, again, when they made the coaching change at UMass, they were really comfortable with the fact that I'd coached in the NHL, so that the hockey part they thought was going to be covered. But they were just as concerned with the people that were going to be surrounding Cale. And that's where I think we really excel, is that we surround our players with really good people who do a really phenomenal job helping them develop.
Okay, right here in front.
Amin Tori, Daily Collegian. Got a pretty simple one. I mean, it's the biggest week of your career as a head coach. How are you?
Yeah. You like to think I'm trying to just make it just another week, another game. I'm similar to my feelings for my players. I'm very proud. It's a very proud week for me and our staff. Very proud of what we've been able to do. And I think one thing that I feel as well is I'm proud of what we're doing for the university. And, it's a big state school. And to be able to work up the, the energy and the support that we have on campus and in town. Because when I got to UMass, it was definitely missing. And from day one, all I've ever said is I want to bring pride to the program, to the alumni, to all the guys who wore the jersey before. And for these kids, they're an outstanding group. They've sacrificed. They've done absolutely everything that we've asked of them. So to me, this is a very rewarding weekend. Again, trying to just stay out of the way, soak it in as much as I can, and hope that we got 2 more wins in us.
Okay. Right here. Okay. Perfect. Oops, sorry.
Josh Office, Daily Hampshire Gazette. Greg, do you feel like this team is more comfortable in these sort of settings now? Now that you guys have been for a third time in 4 weeks, kind of in this kind of media spotlight a little bit?
Yeah, it's like anything else. Now that we've been through it a couple times, you hope that there's a comfort zone. Again, because we do lack some experience compared to the other teams here. But it's part of building the program. Hopefully we'll be back here again. This won't be the only time. And someday, hopefully, we can think back of Buffalo and what we did there.
Over here on the left.
Hey, Coach Keelan Sheridan, NCAA.com. Looking beyond hockey for a minute, what's been your favorite memory from being a part of this program this season?
Favorite memory? It's a tough one. There's so many things. I think my favorite memory will be coaching Cale Makar. It's been a special opportunity. He's a really special kid. I hope he's rewarded tomorrow or on Friday at the ceremony, because I think he's really he's everything that you want out of the Hobie Baker winner. I'm excited that in the 2 years, again, it's gone exactly as I hoped it would for him, but it's gone exactly as I hoped it would for us, meaning me and Cale. I really like the relationship that we have, the trust that we built, the way that I've been able to coach him and him coach me at the same time. So other than winning championships this year, just helping Cale develop and, again, not getting in his way, but helping him become the player that he is. And I'm just really excited to watch him at the next level, because I've coached at that level too, and he's phenomenal. He's going to be a hell of a player, and I really like the fact that my 6-year-old son knows him. He knows Cale Makar, and he talks about Cale, and he says things like, "Dad, look at my cheeks; they're red like Cale Makar's." And I asked Cale. I don't try to. Cale doesn't want to talk about the future. He's very much in the now. But I asked him to sign a picture for my son, and he did that a couple days ago. And I think being able to always know that we had an impact on a guy that's going to be a really, I think, a superstar at the next level will be memorable.
Okay. Right here.
Ryan Ames, Daily Collegian. Have you liked what you've seen from Lindbergh in practice since Manchester?
I hold my breath and don't look at goalies. We've got 2 good goalies. I just asked Jared who should play, and we'll have that conversation here and probably on the bus ride. So I don't know who's playing tomorrow, and Jared will get mad at me if I told you right now, but I don't know who's playing. So I watch our goalies only as something to do. Jared's locked in on them, and again, it's another luxury that I have, is to have a really good staff member that takes care of that part of it.
You expect to tweet that out on the bus ride home to us?
Nope.
Sean.
Greg, John Worrell with the Associated Press. You just mentioned what Cale has taught you as a coach. What has he taught you? What thing that, you know, given your experience, what is somebody like that young kid with a good head on his shoulders taught you?
He's kind of like a barometer for me, because I'll at times get too excited on the bench or too emotional, too loud, too something, and he'll look at me, might say something to me, just, you know, keeps me in check. He does a great job. He's a very even-keeled kid. So that part of it, I respect that. He's one of these kids as a coach. When you go up to the board and you try to explain something to the team, he gets it instantly, what you're trying, the message and whatever it is. So I'll bounce things off of him, and because if you know, he'll let me know, yeah, Coach, I don't think they got that, but he usually gets it. But other than that, he's extremely respectful young man. He you know, he's the leader on the team, and so with Mario and Nico, we meet with them regularly, and he you know, he tells you what you need to hear. And again, we all do that. It's a nice part of our team. We're extremely honest. We communicate a lot, and sometimes it's not what you want to hear, but it makes you better, and he buys into that fully.
Okay, up here in front, Dave.
Dave Hendrickson, U.S. College Hockey Online. Your power play is one of the top 2 in the country. That's a major weakness, actually, for Denver's. They're number 48. Other than the obvious talent that you have out there on the power play, what is it that makes your power play so effective?
I think it's having 5 players who are very good at their roles on the power play, from Mark Delgaizo's ability on the blue line to Jacob Pritchard on the goal line to Mitchell Chafee in the slot. I don't know the numbers, but all 5 of those guys score goals on the power play. So we have a lot of different threats. Believe me, I won't take credit for the power play. I mean, I run it, but these kids, they execute, they see the game. They're all very good offensive players, and so they just go out there and they play. I give them a little bit of structure, a little bit of guidance, but they're just good players, and they just create the offense mostly themselves.
All right, last one, right here.
Chris Lynch of Inside Hockey. Coach, you've had, in your professional time as a coach, particularly with the Senators, you had a number of battles against Buffalo and coming into this building. I'm just curious if there are any particularly fond memories of coming back here to this building.
Yeah, my fondest NHL memory took place in this building. My fondest, and also one of the strangest. I was on the staff here when Ray Emery fought Andrew Peters, and if any of you saw that, that was just the craziest game I was ever involved with. And when your starting goalie is fighting the heavyweight for the other team at center ice, it's an event you don't forget. I think it was that same year. When I was in Ottawa, Buffalo and Ottawa were the best 2 teams in the Eastern Conference, and 2 really good teams. The year before, they beat us in the second round, I think in 6 games. They beat us in overtime in the last game. And then the next year, we played here in the Eastern Conference Finals, and I was coaching under Brian Murray, and Daniel Alfredson scored here in overtime to send us to the Stanley Cup Finals. And Brian, I worked for Brian for 10 years. He passed away 2 years ago, and Brian is one of my greatest mentors. He's basically a second father to me. I was very fortunate to work with him, and I remember celebrating on the bench with him after we scored that goal. And although we went on to the Stanley Cup Finals, we didn't fare very well, but that goal, that game in this building was my highlight during my time in the NHL.